Hello.
Hello,
Here's episode 14. Is it?
15?
Oh, 15. Okay.
I think so. And you have this new frequency behind you.
By Teal. Um, Found out through a friend who gave me a text saying, oh, the new frequency painting is out. And you can't see the real,
The full thing.
yeah, the full image, but it's a beautiful painting of Christ consciousness. Do you want to read? Do you have it up with the meanings?
Um, oh, do I have the image?
The meaning of it?
Sorry, you're the
You hear?
sound is a little bit hard to hear you. I don't know why.
Oh,
Some
yeah. The
sorry.
meaning of the image?
Oh, the meaning of the image, yes. So Christ consciousness is a higher dimensional level of consciousness. It brings the mastery of aligned desire, aligned power, humility, joy, compassion, gratitude, forgiveness, faith, service, integration of polarity, divine willpower, choice, and love. This frequency brings about self realization and unity with the divine. Mm,
Yeah, pretty powerful.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
well, I'm pretty sure I've shared this story with you.
Oh, wait, by the way, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you way
Okay,
better.
okay.
Yeah. But one of my this dream I had about Christ consciousness
Ooh, okay.
and Teal Swan.
Ooh, okay.
I'm sure I've told you, but okay, I'll just
When,
share it
oh,
again.
not recently.
Not recently, but
Oh,
this
okay, okay.
was kind of in the dark night of the soul, but I was just starting to comprehend, starting to get a grasp of, oh, okay, this is not just happening to torture me.
Yeah.
I'm this is here because I'm meant to awaken through this, and I was just starting the awakening
Mm-hmm.
process, no longer pushing away my pain and
Yeah,
getting into more of a spiritual practice.
yeah.
And so in the dream, and at that time I was already, um, yeah, really studying shadow work with Teal Swan's teachings
Mm-hmm.
and all
Mm-hmm.
that. So kind of in the beginning stages. And I had this dream that I was in a circle with these different people. And there was a golden ball of light that was being passed around.
I remember. Yes.
Yeah. And
You tell it, yeah.
and Teal was on my right and she turned to me and she asked me, do you want this?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it and I just knew, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
want it. And so she passes this golden ball and I hold it and it just kind of melts into me. And I wake up having this, I guess what you call a spiritual orgasm or something. It was just a full body ecstasy where it woke me up because I was just vibrating like it was some kind of Kundalini activation thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so
I
powerful. And I,
received something so powerful. Yeah.
yeah, to receive that frequency
Yeah.
into my heart.
Mhm.
And I just remember for the next days after that,
Yeah.
I was just in Christ consciousness.
Oh,
Like nothing
wow.
bothered me,
Yeah. Yeah.
not in the usual ways.
Yeah.
I was just kind of walking through spaces, just really feeling so connected on a deep level with all of life and everyone I was
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
And
That's
like when I was talking to people, I was really feeling like deep emotionally connected, even if we weren't talking about things. I could just
Yeah.
feel them
Yeah.
more, feeling myself. And it was just
Wow.
a very incredibly blissful state of feeling so connected
Mm.
to life and not in resistance to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, really all like
Yeah.
just gratitude and just really feeling in awe of everything. Like I'm looking at everything for the first time, not with jaded eyes.
So,
Like
oh,
everything is just new.
yeah. It seems like what you're saying is you connected to everything with such beautiful connection, like no resistance to like whatever you are connecting to.
Mhm.
It feels like ultimate safety
Yeah,
in the
belonging.
connection. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And did everything feel like, did like, so when you were in that state, like how were you viewing things like around you? Was it
Well,
like more with care or like
a what?
more with care or
Uh,
did, did you like was your perspective different through what you were seeing through your eyes?
just felt like I was outside or not outside, like my inner world.
Yeah.
It's like a light turned on or something.
Oh,
Oh my God. And I received light. It
oh,
was a light ball, a ball
yeah,
of light. And it
yeah,
literally felt like something like so a lamp was turned on inside
yeah.
and there was just more space for me to be myself.
Mm-hmm.
And but in this peaceful, gentle way.
Mm.
Yeah. It's hard
Wow.
to describe, but it was just this
Yeah.
feeling of I'm because I was really struggling a lot prior to that of this feeling of not belonging.
Mm.
And I think that was a profound moment of I belong here and I can take up I can take space here and I can just move and do what I want and need
Yeah.
to um, peacefully coexisting with others. And yeah,
Wow.
so
I don't know. I'm feeling like it must have been such a profound experience for you because you said you were in quite the opposite of not belonging to now fully feeling belong.
hmm and the thing is, it wasn't that state. It just felt. I just remember it feeling very gentle. It wasn't like jarring.
Yeah.
It's like the feeling of realizing something, the way
Yeah.
like realizing, oh,
Yeah.
I am safe here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I belong.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Not even that like
subtle. It was
emotional
subtle yet
high
it
of
was really
like,
powerful. Yeah, it
yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
it was very subtle,
Yeah.
soft, gentle
You're like,
realization
huh.
that
Oh.
every all is well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the most basic thing I could think of. All is well.
No, I can resonate.
And
Yeah.
like, oh, I missed the U-Bahn. All
Yeah.
is well. Just like everything's
Yeah.
cool. Everything's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like nothing could perturb me so much
Uh-huh.
because my foundation of wellness
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah. That's strong, like it
My
is so.
belonging.
Yeah.
It is
Hmm.
so.
Yeah. And you would think like to be in that person like, oh my God, this is so cool,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I remembered that time, meeting with friends, and I, yeah, felt there was this increased ability to be present with them.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, just there was a new, like, higher quality of presence
Yeah.
in myself and with
Mhm.
others that felt new.
So to experience that state means you've gotten there, you can like have that
Mhm.
like in your life and have that be your reality. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a really cool experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm glad
Wow.
to revisit that and just know that that state of presence
Mhm.
is accessible
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. And it like we all kind of want that, but it gets me curious, like, can we stay there 24 hours, like all day, every day for the rest of our lives? Do you think it's possible?
Yes, anything's possible.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Because it's just, it also, that degree of presence doesn't mean you don't feel all the inner emotions
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just that you are one with it, whatever is happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always going to be that constant work in progress.
Mhm.
Like, for instance, well, I guess if we talk about alignment, if you're there, yeah, if all the shadows and light are on board, you can experience that. Oh, froze. Come back, Kwonyin. Little glitch there, but we're back.
Mercury retrograde.
Yeah. Oh yeah, until this week. Next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Um,
yeah, Christ consciousness.
yeah. Oh, right. We're talking about um, is it possible to live in that state all day, every day
Mm.
till you pass on? But I must say, it is difficult because from that point of perspective, you are all one with everything. Everything is you.
Mhm.
And let's say this other self of you that you see yourself in somebody else is, I don't know, just not in a really good place.
Mhm.
Like, I wonder what it would, and like, let's say is um, not liking the person that's in the Christ conscious perspective
Mhm.
and does whatever to make this person upset or whatever it may be.
Someone who's triggered by Christ consciousness.
Mm-hmm. I mean, from the Christ conscious perspective, I can see how it's like, oh, that is me. That's really hurt. And then see it as like still from that perspective of, um, I still want to give you love. And I see that I am in a lot of pain and, stuff like that. But
Mhm.
I wonder if, because we are all human, there's like a tipping point of um, falling off of that perspective
Mhm.
at some points in life.
Yeah. I don't
And
know if it's like wise to want that as a goal. I don't know, just to be like, I want to stay in this all the time,
yeah,
because there's an element of control there.
yeah,
Um, but I do feel like paradoxically, when you're not trying to be there and you're whoever you're encountering or whatever triggers come up,
yeah,
or that you are able to like transmute it as it comes.
yeah. Or like if the shadow starts arising within you
Yeah.
from the Christ conscious perspective too, it's like not shutting anything away,
Yeah. Right.
just seeing yourself and understanding all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right? Because Christ consciousness is your seeing the, let's say, the demon as also an aspect of yourself.
hmm hmm
So you can give compassion to
hmm
that.
yeah, yeah.
They're in this constant transformation
Yeah,
process.
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
very challenging, um, like journey
Hmm.
to get to that point of
Totally. Yeah.
Christ conscious perspective.
Right.
Yeah,
Hmm. I think, I mean, since say Jesus is the one who really, he brought that frequency to the planet. And since him, like for the past 2000 years, look how like that his message has been so distorted and
yeah,
people really struggling with Christ consciousness.
yeah, yeah.
It's uh
There's even a little trigger for me too around even the word Christ consciousness.
oh, okay, what is that?
Like it feels like it's connected to religion.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
there's a little bit of resistance there of like not wanting to call it. Can we just call it something else? Why does it have to be Christ consciousness? Because
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, but it is that. It is Christ consciousness. It's just it's so much more associated in religion.
With the church.
Yeah, so I don't even like
Especially I know
using
you grew
it.
up in Catholic. You could come from Catholic.
Yeah. And it's just like, I don't
Wow.
want to use that word for like to talk about this like oneness thing. Like I can feel that in me. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Like I wish Jesus wasn't like part of that religion or something, you know? Like
Mm.
wishing it was just we can just talk about Jesus as a person and not being a part of this religion or you know, yeah.
Mhm.
But it is true. I acknowledge like, wow, Christ consciousness like perspective is very powerful. Um, yeah. And it's hard for me to like be in that perspective all day, every day. And
Yeah.
I even reaching that perspective, it's like, oh yeah, some days I totally see that perspective and in it, and some days I know I'm not.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it's this constant work
Yeah.
of, well, if you want to see more of that, I guess you just have to do more work,
Yeah.
integrate more, so you could see that perspective more, which I feel like it's, yeah. And I'm beginning to see like, oh, I do want more of that. I
Hmm.
do. Because in that state, there's so much like peace, like the safe kind of peace that is, like you said, so gratifying. And it does feel like the feeling state of a chalice being so like fulfilled that it overflows type of state.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, like to
Yeah.
see yourself in somebody
Yeah.
and say, oh, that is me. I don't know why
Yeah.
it feels safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just like we're constantly in the, moving between dualities and um, like remembering Christ consciousness,
Yeah.
having that activated, and then forgetting it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's just part of being a human on earth,
Yeah. Yeah.
being in a separate body and knowing that we're all one too
Yeah. Yeah.
on a higher dimensional plane.
Yeah.
So living that paradox.
Mm-hmm. And it would have been so much nicer, I feel like, if society wasn't so burned out with responsibility, because it feels like to see everything as oneness, yeah, you take everyone as you know, and it's like, I don't know if this is the right way of saying it, but I think you know what it means. Like, yeah, like everything is me. Not to say that, like something about responsibility where like you would want to be responsible for a healthier world, a healthier relationship. But in society currently today, it's like we experience more of the responsibility that's not so fun, or that's not so like in alignment with us. It's the responsibility of, oh, I have to take care of this, or
The
oh,
drudgery.
I have to be connected to this person, or yeah,
Hmm.
and it's all about if I don't, especially for kids, you know. And so by the time you reach oneness and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, everything is me, you're already burnt out with like that, oh, I want to take responsibility
Yeah.
for a a healthier connection and whatnot.
Yeah. Which is why
So
I think it's so important to, in that journey, you
yeah.
have to like let yourself go all the way with saying fuck responsibility too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Activate the opposite
Yeah. Yeah.
rather than repressing it
Yeah. Yep.
and just be in this pretend like, oh, I care. When
Yeah.
you're like, no, I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
want to care. I'm sick of caring.
Yeah.
Just go there and fully own it. And when you then let yourself give yourself that
Mm-hmm.
experience of, yeah, surrendering to not caring if
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to.
And in that no responsibility, I don't want it. I don't
Yeah,
care.
like let yourself consciously choose it. Like you have the free will to also not give a fuck if you don't want,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
because
But
all our lives is
recognize,
like, no, you should care about this. You should care about school. And you should care about getting a good job.
yeah.
All those things are just like, ah.
Yeah.
And so then you're just a slave
Yeah.
trying to do it so that you don't get punished. And that's exactly why Christ consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why Christ consciousness is an advocate for your demons.
Mm-hmm.
Demon that's saying, no, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be selfish.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to care about anyone else.
Yeah.
I just want to be a degenerate.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, so funny because I keep having like little holidays for myself where I get to be a
Yeah.
degenerate, like just a loser. Or
Yeah.
what
Yeah. Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna give a shit.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. It
Yeah, I just
helps.
yeah, it helps
Yeah.
just to like let yourself
Yeah.
go there because there's so much more energy about no, you gotta like
Mm-hmm.
on top of it. And I'm like, I just want
Perform
to
this way.
exactly where you're just like, I want to be the opposite,
Yeah.
to let ourselves be the opposite.
Yeah.
To, and then you can choose when you want to, actually want to
Yeah. Yeah.
care.
And extending from what you said, when you're in that opposite degenerate feeling state of I'm gonna be the loser, I'm not gonna do
Yeah, I want
anything.
to be a loser. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like in that space, that feeling state, fully surrendering to that feeling state there's always a gift there, right? Because when you're in that feeling state, it really helps you recognize what you've been bulldozing for yourself
Yeah.
and not going for the thing that you actually really want. You've
Mm-hmm.
been holding that off, you've been suppressing it, you've been whatever. So in that state, it really gets you to see clearly what you've been missing out on. And
Mm-hmm.
therefore, this degenerate part became this way
Yeah.
because you are not listening to what you really want to go for.
So I'd rather just like consciously have degenerate holidays.
Yeah,
Holidays
yeah,
for the degenerate.
the good thing. Yeah.
Uh,
And in that space, you get clarity of, oh, surrounding myself in this environment or continuing this habit or whatever it may be, it's like, okay, so you get to choose. Are you still going to continue this? Or are you going to get yourself out of that situation and find something that is in true alignment with you?
mhm.
Yeah. And then I think that's it. It's again to get to reach to Christ conscious perspective is to always integrate,
Mhm.
integrate. And I know people can get there and have that aha moment of oneness with all, Christ consciousness perspective. Um, like they could reach that end goal, but then they could slip back
Mhm.
and, but ultimately, again, it's just integration, into integrating, harmonizing your shadow self and your light self, like constant work on that. By the time you do reach the Christ consciousness perspective, like it's not going to scare you off. Or even if it does, okay, look into it. What's the negative perspective of it, the positive perspective of it, and reorganize that belief or that thought or clear it up.
Mhm.
And then it's a point of recreating or rebirthing a new belief, a new lifestyle, a new way of living with that perspective.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right when you were talking, I just got this
Yeah.
um feeling. Oh wait. Oh right. I think what integration work,
Mm-hmm.
why it's so integral to Christ consciousness is also like, yeah, when you're saying look for the positive perspective, the negative perspective, and it's um, because what it's doing is helping you to come out of your
Mm-hmm.
a fixed state where you're more um, in one perspective of pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that one perspective of pain, you're feeling pain because you're actually in a state of disconnection. You're not connected to the rest of the universe, and you're not connected to another part of yourself.
Yeah.
Also holds wisdom and value. When you're just in one fixed state where this is good and this is bad, and I don't want to look at what's bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, what integration does when you're now looking to the part of you that holds an opposite perspective or some feeling that you're scared of, and you're kind of massaging that connection line, getting it
Mm-hmm.
more open, and now you're able to be more fluid.
Mm-hmm.
And that from that fluidity is where now you have free will, because when you're fixed there is no free will. You're like, this is it and this is the only thing that's it, and
Yeah.
I'm in pain forever,
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's no way out when you're just in one perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So that's why we need to have both perspectives and many perspectives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To create what best suits that individual.
Yeah.
So,
And it's like you need access to that internally, and you need to access that fluidity externally,
Mhm.
you know, where, every person you meet is going to be um, holding some, I mean, they are a part of you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah, the fluidity between all the different perspectives
mhm. And
helps
I
you come
know
out of that
that
fixed.
work is really powerful, like the integrated state, looking at the shadow, looking at the negative, the positive, the pain, the love, the bad and the good,
Yeah.
um, seeing all of those perspectives and continuously working on bridging the gap.
Yeah.
Like from my personal experience, it got me, like I was integrating on, I forget what it was, but I was integrating on something else. And then at the end of it, I got into that perspective of the Christ conscious perspective. Like, oh, and it was such a surprise, like, of everything is me.
Yeah.
And that I remember that whole day, I felt different, weird, like to see everything as one. But just like you said, there was no like, oh, I'm there. It was very like, oh, yeah. Oh, I see it. Oh, okay. Like, so it is. Okay. And, but then for me personally, it stayed with me for a few days until it died off, that perspective. And it was almost like there was and I recognized that there was a part of me that couldn't accept that I reached that space. It
Oh.
felt like such a space of when people, because it's like people's, like, if we talk about Christ consciousness, it's like Jesus, who's like so holy, who's up there, right?
How dare you equate yourself to like that kind
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like, how dare I? It was more like, no, no, I didn't reach that place.
yeah.
Like, it just felt unbelievable. Like, no, I couldn't possibly be there. Like that kind of thing. And I was a little scared that, like, I don't know, there was resistance of, um, it feels weird that I'm there. Although I loved it, I appreciated it, there was this resistance of, no, not
Mm.
me. No, I didn't really reach that place. And something about knowing that I reached that place was the resistance.
Wait, something about, what did you say?
Oh, no, me knowing that I reached that place was resistance.
Oh.
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah. And I couldn't make out what it was, but it was also an uncomfortable feeling state.
Yeah.
And I don't think I was ready to accept it.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, I'm there, but I couldn't fully accept it. And the part of me that couldn't fully accept it became more dominant
Mm.
through the days of like, okay, but I just let it go.
Yeah.
That's when I had a few days later the mushroom journey.
Yeah.
And then it showed me the Christ consciousness of being one with it, like it's real, you're there, you did it. And so it's like, oh my God, I actually got there through integration. Why was I not believing it? And so it solidified for me. But then the whole time thereafter, it's about, oh, and this frequency that even came out feels like another validation of that. The Christ consciousness frequency is the rainbow vibration. But then how do you, it's, I don't know, like, I guess I'm not there yet either in terms, no, I am there, but still learning and integrating to keep it stable. And that's an awareness that I think even with your dream as well too, like you said, you felt it, you were in that state for a few days. And I resonate being in that state for a few days. And then it feels like the whole journey is solidifying that for it to be stable.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's not easy.
Yeah.
I'm fighting. I thought once you reach it, done deal, great, I'm there now. But it's not really that.
Well, because expansion is limitless.
True,
Yeah.
true. So then it got me thinking, wait, is there like so much shadow within us that like it would have been easy to stay in that vibration?
Right.
But
Yeah.
because there's so much generational trauma that's been passed down that
Mm,
it's
yeah.
like what is a normal state is really hard to kind of
Yeah. Right.
keep
Uh-huh.
in that stable vibration. I'm not
And
sure.
also you don't exist in a vacuum. There's like the collective shadow and pain that's
Yeah,
present. And
yeah,
so you're always working with
yeah.
that and
Mhm.
influenced by that. But
Yeah,
also, of course, you are having a say in it through what you're alchemizing within yourself.
yeah, yeah. But one thing I know for sure that I can say I'm really happy about is like, because I'm always about, well, I don't know if that's true. But in order for me to know if it's true or not is to experiment on myself to see if it is really true or not. So like even those gurus or holiness or like, like awakened people like Dalai Lama, Teal, Jesus, whoever, um, like it's like even this integration was all the purpose for me personally. Uh, one part of the purpose of integrating was, oh, you can expand to what degree? Um, but I had no idea it can get you this, to see the perspective of oneness, the Christ consciousness. And that was mind blowing. Isn't it mind blowing? Like how just clearing it gets you to that state. Everyone can get there just by integrating shadow, like harmonizing, resolving this like unresolved parts of us that are still upset or still in pain. And you just keep working on it of like helping that part feel better, helping that part feel like find solutions. Naturally, getting those shadows on board eventually gets you to that space, that perspective. And it feels like that's our natural state, right? Of who we really are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're just uncovering it through, I don't know, like the dominant vibration of trauma that's very strong on this earthly plane or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just think it's so fascinating. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's your choice
yeah.
to
It's so trippy.
your choice on what you want to do with it.
Yeah,
But if you are willing, then
yeah,
you have the choice to transform it into something really
yeah. It's
good.
just mind blowing. Yeah, like there's so much you can figure out and connect with beyond what you just see with your eyes. I don't know. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Yeah. Oh, can you hear me? Yeah. So, yeah, this was actually, to my surprise, a very pleasant surprise that I was not aware integration can get you towards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes sense.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gathering back all the fragments.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I really thought it was just, I don't know, how was it for you of like when you decided to do integration? I know it resonate with you and therefore you started pursuing it, but like what was your intention for it in the beginning?
Mm.
I'm pretty sure you wanted something from this integration for yourself. What was that initial desire in wanting to integrate?
Um, right. Well, it was to find a solution to the suffering I was experiencing.
I see.
Yeah. Or I didn't even solution sounds like at that time I didn't know there was a solution. It just I
Mhm.
was so in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, so in the dark and um so unconscious to how I was relating to myself
mm,
internally.
mm,
Yeah. So big breakthrough for me was just recognizing that I am not one being. I have the whole world inside of me, so many different
mhm.
parts, so many different characters,
Yeah.
personalities. Yeah.
Wow.
And that there were certain dominant parts that were really loud and aggressive. So um, that were not letting other vulnerable parts of myself to have space.
Yeah.
So integration for me was really about seeing, wow, I have a very intense kind of bully victim dynamic going on inside of me that just felt I wasn't aware of how it was playing out in myself constantly.
Mm,
It was unconscious because that's just how what I absorbed, and it was normal to me to talk to
yeah.
myself like that.
I
Where
see.
I'm so identified with the voices and
Mhm,
not seeing that no, they are some energies I absorbed
mhm,
and was born into.
mhm,
Um, and but it is also I am not that.
mhm.
I mean, you could say they're all of me, but I'm also like none of it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from there, seeing that I have power to wield how these relationships go. And it doesn't have to just play out like that,
Yeah.
where, like, yeah, the perpetrator victim dynamic. hmm So I think integration was, yeah, recognizing that every part of me has the ability to, um, like, I can be the one, my conscious, like, witness self can be the one to, like, sculpt and mold how these relationships are by
Yeah.
giving voice to the ones who feel like they're not supposed to or not allowed to.
Mm,
and and yeah, like change the dynamics internally.
Mm. Wow.
So then when everyone's heard, then I'm feeling heard. But if some part of me is not feeling heard, then the whole of me is not feeling heard. So it's really understanding the universe that way, or that's how everything is, because we're
yeah,
so interconnected. And also in my micro ecosystem, if there's one part of me that's, not feeling seen, the whole of me is feeling that.
yeah,
So if I address that unseen part in me and change dynamics with the bully so that they're kind of having a more harmonious relationship, creating that harmony internally, then like all of me feels harmony.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I went into it like thinking, oh, this will be a great tool to help children with. Like
Mm.
that was my intention. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is going to be a great tool for me to have for myself
Yeah.
to help adults and children. And so that was my thing. And then when I got into integration, I'm like, wait a minute, this is also helping me. Um, kind of like find an understanding through my own personal issues. So then I started utilizing integration as, oh, I'm going to use it for me. I see the benefits like for my personal self and just kind of experimenting with like, oh, if I clear this, so I could be a match to like receiving what I desire. If that is true, okay, let me just keep working on me. It was really, I don't know if it was for, maybe you could say it's for selfish reasons, but yeah, it was mainly for, later it turned into, ooh, I want to use it on me.
Yeah.
But it was never for like, oh, I want to get to that place of seeing everything as one. It was more for me.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
no, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I never thought it was gonna fix anything because I thought it was just a part of me. Like you said, when you went into that integration and you had that like internal, like intense negative voice towards yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that as a kid very intensely. And again, I just thought, oh, integration's not going to help that. Like, it's just a part of me that I'm just going to have to live with for the rest of my life. Like,
Wow.
never thought integration can really clear anything or everything you want to kind of like, I don't know, it's just a powerful tool that can really heal things that you never thought could be healed. And who would have thought if you just keep at it, you could like basically get to that point of seeing everybody and wanting to see everybody more and more as one. Yeah, who would have thought? But it was such a gradual transformation, wasn't it? Was it for you? Because it was like that for me. Like oh, 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 I see the oneness. Oh, oh. It was a progression of that.
Yeah. Well, it's just, like every time something comes up, like you're blocked, and then you
Have to see all perspectives.
resolve. Yeah, you like see all the
Yeah,
different perspectives going on, and
yeah.
um it just feels like something like a knot was unraveled, and you just have now that much more space now.
Yeah.
Keep wanting to unravel because it feels good,
Mm-hmm.
even though it feels bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
process,
Yeah.
but when you know what it's bringing you,
Yeah.
this thing to it,
Yeah.
a
But
meaning.
so worth it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And then do you find yourself um like opening yourself up to bigger tasks or something?
Well,
Not
I guess your
afraid of
capacity to deal with things grows as you keep unraveling,
Mhm.
because you just get more spacious.
And it's from like creating more space
Mhm.
to be able to have that capacity. Huh?
Mhm.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah. Well, it was a good conversation
Yeah, thanks
on
for the
Christ consciousness.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for bringing this frequency.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't have known unless, yeah, someone brought it to my attention too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. All
Beautiful.
right.
Okay.
Hey, see you next week. Okay. Bye.